feel like a Western cowboy. These shells are also compatible with half darts, so you can use those. And it ejects the shells just like that. Hello everyone, Brickosaurus227 here, back to you with another review. And we're doing something a little bit different today. Instead of looking at a traditional Nerf blaster, we're going to be looking at something I was sent by M416 Gel Blaster. And it is actually not a gel blaster, it is a dart blaster. The Solon SR410 Dart Blaster. This is basically a replica of the real steel firearm, but it shoots darts. Is it any good? Let's find out. Included is the blaster disassembled, some kind of scope, shotgun shells with mini darts, regular dart shells, attachment for the shell holder, suction darts and regular darts, and instructions. Get them out of here. I do want to say that this was sent to me for free to review by M416 Gel Blaster, but all of my thoughts and opinions will 100% be my own. I will be as objective as I possibly can be with this blaster, as if I paid for it with my own money. Alrighty, so some assembly is required because basically you want to take your grip and you want to clip it on. Now it does clip on and it holds fairly well, but I did notice that without like screwing it in, it did seem to kind of affect the clip's quality, so you do have to screw it in. And fortunately, they give you a screw and screwdriver to do so. Now, what you want to do is you want to put your screw in through here, then you want to get one of the little nuts it goes with to secure the screw, take the included screwdriver and screw it in. And once you do that, the grip is secured onto the blaster. So this blaster does go with a bunch of other attachments, but let's look at the core blaster itself, starting with the ergonomics. The main ergonomic point on this blaster is obviously the main grip, and my goodness, it is really good. Mainly because it is literally a replica of a real steel grip. So you kind of get the idea. It's going to be a really good grip. There is kind of a foregrip. I'm saying that just for you, FaZe. There is a foregrip here. It's really nice and comfortable, something to grab, kind of balance the blaster, because while it is a while it is a decently sized blaster, it's still pretty big, and you could definitely use this. It's comfortable to hold it and use it. The only part of this blaster that's slightly unergonomic is when you actually just spin the blaster, because the bottom of the trigger hits your finger. So you might want to spin it the other way and you'll just be fine. You got to practice doing that. That's the only real complaint ergonomics wise. And before I continue with the rest of the overview, I do want to say, since this is a replica of a real steel firearm, I would not recommend taking this out in public or anywhere like that. To a LARPing or cosplay event, sure, that's what it's designed for. But somewhere in public, out in your neighborhood, unless you live in the country or something, I would not recommend taking this outside. It is very dangerous to do so. Even though it does have an orange barrel, it is still a very dangerous thing to do. Do not take this out if you live in a public or populated area. You got to be careful with this kind of stuff for sure. They gave you this scope to put on top of it, and it's pretty cool. It's basically, it doesn't magnify or anything, it's just a piece of glass in there. But I mean, it's pretty cool to have, and it's cool aesthetically. I don't think it matches the blaster that much, but that's just personal taste. You got to be careful undoing the knob when you're loosening the tack rail. But once you do that there, you just screw the scope in. But I believe it's a standard real steel airsoft style rail, so you should be good with a lot of airsoft attachments. And like I said, the scope is pretty cheap. It's not it's not as well made as the blaster, and it's just a piece of glass, but heck, it really does look cool. And these little flaps here add a lot to it. The knobs don't do anything. Again, it's more of just a purely cosmetic piece. To operate the blaster, there's a little button on the side. You want to hit it, and it pops your cylinder out just like that. It is removable. But you want to take 5 of the 6 included shells. Now, I don't know why they included an extra shell. It is a 5-round blaster, but it's cool that I included it. They do have this little attachment here that holds the shells, and this is something you can clip onto your belt, which is really nice. But you take your 5 shells and load it up. Now, they actually aren't compatible with full-length darts. The included darts are these, 3/4 darts, I don't know, 3/4 length darts, and they work pretty well, but these shells are also compatible with half darts, so you can use those. These are more in line with FPJ quality, so again, something you would plink with, but I don't know if I'd recommend using them. But once you have all 5 of your shells loaded up, you simply take your blaster and you load the shells right there into the cylinder. But once you do that, you close in your cylinder, pull back the hammer to prime, This is one of the best hammer priming setups I've ever seen in a blaster. And fire. And it holds 5 shots. And of course you want to hit this button and it ejects the shells just like that. That's so cool. Now, as you could probably guess with a blaster like this, it doesn't perform the best. This is a plinker or cosplay piece, so you're going to get about 15-foot ranges. That's how I got my testing, and that's okay. It's not really designed to be a practical blaster or something you use. This is more of a cosplay or like plinker piece, and I get that. I do think you could possibly do some mods to it. I heard someone padded the plunger area and upgraded the spring, and they were able to get like they also changed out the shells, and they were going to get like pretty good ranges, about 30-foot ranges. But currently it shoots about 15 feet, which is, you know, not great at all. But again, this isn't meant to be something you practically use in a Nerf battle. It is really realistic. It's something you play around, dry fire with, you know, hit little cans with. It's a fun toy. It's more of a toy gun than a practical dart blaster. They also give you these shells, and there's only 2 of them, and they're these little green shells that have these little tiny holes in them, and basically you load these mini darts into them. And from my experience, they don't work the best. These darts aren't the best quality. So I don't know if I'd recommend using this function of the blaster. We'll load in these ones. You kind of shotgun the mini darts. And again, it's practically useless in my experience. And I'm just being honest, I don't think these are that good at all. I do think, though, that it works quite well with these, and these are really fun to use. It's really high quality and well built, and it doesn't feel like a third-party brand at all, even though it is. But before I move on to my final thoughts and opinions, let's take it out and shoot it. I'm not gonna like measure the ranges or anything, but I'm gonna like show a little demonstration of me shooting it. So yeah, let's head out to the range. So as you can see, not the best performance. Let's shoot it with short darts. Alrighty, we're firing with ember darts. They seem to work the best out of all the short darts in my testing, so yeah. Ooh, there we go. Nice. As you can see, not the most practical thing, but hey, it's pretty tactical.
I am Steve.
Well, Steve, even though you have the upper hand on me, and I may be out of ammo, you're forgetting one thing. All it takes is one bullet. So what do I think of this blaster? Well, it is an absolute ton of fun. This has been one of my new dry firing blasters. What is a dry firing blaster for me? Well, basically a blaster that I'm never going to use practically, but I love dry firing. One of those is the double breach. I think that blaster is so fun to dry fire and play around with, but not practical in any way. This thing is just a ton of fun to play. I feel like a Western cowboy, and this is really cool. So if you're a performance-oriented nerfer that, like, you know, wants a blaster they can actually use, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for a Nerf war or a performance-oriented nerfer. But if you want a high-quality prop, or you just want to plink around and play around with stuff, this is something I would totally recommend. This is more for the emotional response of using a blaster like this. Not something I would completely recommend practically, though. This is just a really fun blaster to play around with. And the ejecting shells is my favorite feature. And it also looks like something you would see in Fallout. So, really cool for cosplaying. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. A little bit different, but hey, I love getting free stuff, and this is one of my favorites I've gotten sent so far. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, Brachiosaurus227 here, back to you with another review. Today we're doing a review on this Nerf stolen SR410 that's not really by Nerf, and the dart didn't hit the camera. The darn camera didn't hit the dart. I'm Western now. This was sent to me by M416 Gel Blaster, the company that made this thing. And dude, this thing is really cool. I will say this though, even though this was sent to me for free for a review, all of the opinions will be my own as if I purchased it with my own coins. But all it takes is one bullet. This bullet doesn't work. That's the deal. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the review. Let's get started right now. I'm gonna go back to normal Brachiosaurus because this cowboy getup is pretty darn cringe. This hat doesn't even fit me. All right, guys, let's get started with the review. Gosh freaking darn it. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn dang it, darn it. Darn galarn it.
My junk drawer, my junk drawer. So many things, I don't know what they're for, but I won't let it go, no, I will add more useless little things to my junk drawer.